Have you ever noticed that stubborn, kind of chalky white film that shows up on your orchid's leaves? You might think it's just a bit of dust or some residue, but it's actually something, well, a lot more significant. So let's dive into this, because understanding the science behind this mineral veil is really the key to unlocking your plant's true potential. And I love how the source material for this explainer puts it. It's not just a stain, it's a silent white adversary. That really frames the problem perfectly, doesn't it? We're not just talking about looks here. We're talking about a barrier that is actively working against your plant's health and its vitality. So that's the big question, right? Is this whole thing just about making your plant look pretty for the gram? Or is this white crust kind of silently sabotaging all your hard work to get that perfect, vibrant bloom? Well, as we're about to find out, the answer is a lot more serious than you'd think. Okay, so to defeat this little adversary, we first need to understand where it comes from. Let's get into the chemistry of what this crust actually is and, why it forms in the first place. It all starts with something most of us have, our tap water. See, most of us have what's called hard water, which is really just a fancy way of saying it has a ton of dissolved minerals in it, mostly calcium and magnesium carbonate. Think of them as tiny, invisible rock particles. So when you water your orchid and a little splash gets on the leaf, the water itself evaporates. But those minerals? Oh, they get left behind, crystallizing right there on the leaf surface. And here's the really frustrating part. Your first instinct might be to just, grab a wet cloth and wipe it down. But if you use more tap water to do that, you're just adding a brand new layer of minerals right on top of the old ones. You're not solving the problem at all. You're literally making that veil thicker. So this veil is building up. What's the big deal? Well, the first major problem is rooted in pure physics. This mineral veil is actually changing how your orchid's leaf interacts with its most vital source of energy, light. To really get this, we need to talk about a cool concept called albedo. It's just a measure of how much light a surface reflects. So think about it this way. A black t-shirt soaks up light and gets super hot in the sun, right? But a white t-shirt reflects light and stays cooler. That white t-shirt has a really high albedo. So here's the kicker. By letting that white mineral crust build up, you are, for all intents and purposes, forcing your orchid to wear a mirror. Instead of soaking in all that precious light energy it needs for photosynthesis, the leaf is now bouncing it away. The plant's solar panels are basically getting blocked, and it starts to starve for light, no matter how amazing your grow light is. And if light starvation wasn't bad enough, there's a second, equally dangerous problem going on. We're going to shift from physics to the biology of the leaf itself and see how this mineral veil is, quite literally, suffocating your plant. You see, leaves are covered in these teeny tiny pores called stomata. Think of them like little mouths. They need to be open to breathe in CO2, their food, and breathe out oxygen. But that mineral crust, it acts like cement, plugging up these pores and grinding that essential gas exchange to a total halt. Okay, so this sounds pretty grim, right? The plant is starving and suffocating. But don't worry, because there is an incredibly simple, really elegant chemical solution to dissolve this mineral veil and set your orchid free. And that solution is probably sitting in your kitchen right this second, a lemon. The key ingredient here is citric acid, which is a mild, natural acid that is absolutely perfect for what we need to do. This is where the real magic happens. Check out this chemistry. The citric acid reacts with the solid, insoluble calcium carbonate, that's our crust, and through this little chemical reaction, it transforms it into something called calcium citrate, which is completely water-soluble. The solid crust literally dissolves into a liquid that you can just wipe away. It's like turning rock into water. It's so cool. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Well, what about vinegar? And yeah, it's an acid, and it can work. But lemon juice is definitely the better choice here. Citric acid is just gentler on the leaf's waxy surface. It also does this amazing thing. It acts as a chelating agent. Think of it like a chemical claw that actively grabs onto the mineral particles and yanks them off the leaf. It makes the whole process even more effective. And, bonus, your room doesn't smell like a salad dressing afterwards. So, we have the science, we've got the solution. Now let's get to the final and, let's be honest, the most important part, the step-by-step restoration ritual that's going to bring your orchid's leaves back to that vibrant, healthy state they're supposed to be in. Okay, the process couldn't be simpler. First, you're going to dilute some fresh lemon juice with distilled water. A 50-50 mix is perfect, makes it nice and gentle. Then, apply it with a soft cloth or a cotton ball. Now this next step is crucial. Just wait.
Let it sit for about a minute, give that chemical reaction time to work its magic. Then finally, just gently wipe it all away.
And the payoff is immediate. I mean it. As soon as that mineral veil is gone, the leaf can start absorbing light and breathing properly again. Its solar panels are clean. Growers often talk about seeing a noticeable growth spurt right after a good cleaning, not because you fed the plant, but because you finally allowed it to feed itself.
And that right there is the ultimate takeaway. That simple act of cleaning isn't just for looks. It's a fundamental part of plant care that connects directly to its health and its ability to really thrive. So the next time you see that white film, don't just see a stain. See a barrier that you now have the key to unlock.